You are now listening to the sounds of Dr. B's Spot, a production of Bowden Enterprise Services, LLC. Join the podcast where love and life topics are discussed surrounding spiritual connection, relationships, finance, and becoming a better you through elevation. And now, here's your host, spiritual advisor and behavioral health clinician, Dr. B.
Welcome again to another session of Dr. B's Spot, Love and Life. I am Dr. B, your host, your spiritualist, your therapist. Today's topic I wanted to get into because I'm so excited. I'm so excited to talk about the topic of stepping out of your comfort zone and stepping into the real you. We want to look at what does that really mean. You have moments where you're doing things that people want you to do. You're doing things that you don't feel quite comfortable because you're worried about what people think, how people view you, how people see you. And it gets real comfortable because that's your spot. That's your spot for you to stay where you are. But we're talking about next elevation in regard to stepping out of your comfort zone. When you get the chance to understand who you really are as a person, where you're going in life, your purpose on this earth, God's purpose for you, you'll understand that in order to elevate yourself, you'll have to hit higher and higher levels. How are you going to reach those levels? You're going to reach those levels because you're going to tap into the person inside of you. You're going to tap into things that were hindering you, people that were hindering you. And you're going to step beyond that. So what you're going to do is tap into who I am as the person, as the one who wants to excel, the one who wants to achieve, the one who does not care what people think, what people say, how they may perceive me. I want to step into my purpose that God has for me, my purpose that I have for myself, my vision of where I see myself and how I can build myself to become the person I want to be. Not who I used to be, because I used to be someone who might have been, I'm someone who didn't like stepping out of their comfort zone. I was someone who liked to play it safe. I was someone who didn't like taking a step on that rope, walking for the fear of falling. But now I've taken new leaps by stepping out on faith. Let's talk about stepping out on faith. Stepping out on faith is what removes you from the comforts that you have known for however long you have known you to be in safety zone. So now when you take that leap of faith, let me tell you what it looks like. So the leap of faith is, if I could give you an example, when I was younger and I was in high school getting ready to apply to go to college. And we meet up with the guidance counselor. They're going over our history of, grades and things like that, seeing if, you were prepared enough to move forward and how should we be moving forward in our lives. Me, I've always had an idea of I'm going to a 4-year college. My grades were great. They were excellent. That wasn't an issue with getting into a 4-year college. But this particular guidance counselor, begins like, well, I think that, you should look at a 2-year school. 2-year school, community college. And I'm like, well, no, I'm here. I already have a vision. I'm looking at myself for the future, and I want to go to a 4-year college. But he couldn't see beyond the inner city side of where, we all grew up. And they think that that was particularly a situation where most likely, even if you moved into a 4-year, it would be too much for you because you just wouldn't have the stamina to sustain yourself for the next 2 years. So perhaps if you get 2 years down your belt, you'll be able to move into a 4-year, So get your feet wet first. Don't just hop in and just drown. That wasn't the case because I already decided I had a vision for my future. My vision was not 2-year community college. My vision was a 4-year college. So if I would have listened and stopped at that point where he wanted me to be, I wouldn't say that I wouldn't have moved forward later, but that wasn't the mission. The mission and the vision was for me to go to a 4-year college. And when I applied, I got into multiple colleges, and I chose the college that appealed to me the most. So don't let anyone stop your vision that you see for yourself. If you see it, if you feel it, you can breathe it, smell it, taste it, whatever it is, go for it. Do not give up. Do not hold yourself back just because someone said you can't, you won't, it won't happen, can't happen. If you feel it, I think you should go for it. I think you should go for it at full force. I think you should have the inner ability to tap into your spiritual man or your spiritual woman within yourself. Have a higher power to push beyond what the limits of what people have set for you. Let me speak on another topic that could be helpful when I'm speaking about taking leaps of faith. Another moment happened where I took a leap of faith, as in within this podcast. There's a segment coming up that I'm going to talk about more in depth. And the topic will be, I need to be heard, not seen. So the route that I took, I could have been on other platforms doing other projects, and the Spirit of God spoke to me and said, you need to start a podcast. And when you start it, speak from your heart, speak from your soul, because people need to hear you. Don't really necessarily need to see you. That will come later, but they need to hear you. They need to hear what you have to say because it's going to touch someone. It may not touch all, but it touched someone who can hear me, and it taps into their actual being on who they are. It may even help heal. It may help elevate. It may help change. So you never know the impact that you have on someone, whether they know you physically, spiritually, or just hearing your voice somehow on the radio, through podcasts. You can be extremely impactful. So taking that leap of faith and starting and following what the Spirit has told me, I have to complete the mission. I have to be on the mission. I can't stop because God is getting ready to do something. This is the thing which you have to look at and have to understand, that when God speaks to you and you understand what's happening and you follow, sometimes you don't even understand what's happening, but you follow the lead of the leader. in your life. And I'm talking from a spiritual standpoint. I'm extremely, extremely, extremely spiritual. More than religious. I'm spiritual because so many times I relied on spirit. Spirit has guided. Whether it's my inner spirit, but there is a higher level spirit as well. We don't want to forget that. And if you know how to tap in to both, you will excel higher than you ever have before. And those are some of the things that I'm currently doing by stepping out of comfort zone. I remained low key for many years, and I hit a new plateau in my life. When I hit a new age, I was told to go forth and make whatever dream that I want, that I was holding back on, that I may have been resistant. I had to take the leap of faith because I feel it in my spirit as this is the time, here and now. Everybody has a different time frame on when they need to make a move in their life, when they need to take that next leap of faith. Many years I known about my calling, and I let it happen at bare minimum, but I didn't fully excel at where I was supposed to be because I'm in a comfort zone. So I had to step out of the comfort zone, and I'm finally taking that leap. Because if I don't take the leap, and it's a gift that I have, what am I doing? I'm diminishing, downplaying, sitting on the gift, and I'm not receiving the gifts that God has for me. So if I do this and I move forward, think about the possibilities that's going to open up. My belief in myself first. My belief that I can get out here, start doing the work. And when you do the work, everything else is going to follow. That's the plans currently. But I want you to listen. And I want you to take these steps for yourself. I want you to hear some of my stories. I'll be bringing on interviews and just bringing positivity. We'll be tapping into metaphysicals. But I want you to take the moment to reflect on yourself. Think about what I'm saying. Apply it. Live it. Be it. Watch your life change. Watch it excel for yourself. You are who you're supposed to be. But are you moving forward in the steps that was set forth for you? Or are you holding yourself back? I want you to make yourself move forward as you should. Everything in due time.
Join us next time at Dr. B's Spot, where we dive into the real deal of love and life by tapping into your body, mind, and spirit. Don't forget to like, rate, and comment on each podcast that we drop. For all upcoming shows, reach Dr. B and all she has to offer on BowdenEnterprise.com and social media outlets under the moniker Bowden Enterprise Services. Peace and blessings to you and yours. We are out.